Think your favorite commercials are honest. Think again. From juicy burgers to energy drinks that give you wings, today we're uncovering the shocking truths behind some of the world's most iconic and misleading ads. Welcome to Factopia, where the truth is more entertaining than the fiction. Let's start with food, because who hasn't unwrapped a fast food burger and thought, this looks nothing like the advertisement? The perfect burger. Myth, that thick, juicy burger in commercials? It's probably inedible. Food stylists build them with cardboard between layers and barely cook the patty so it looks plump. They add fake grill marks with hot metal skewers, and that appetizing sizzle, likely created by dropping water onto a hot plate off camera. The white lie in your cereal bowl. Ever wonder why cereal in commercials stays so perfectly crunchy? It's not floating in milk. It's floating in white glue. Elmer's glue, to be specific. It's thicker than milk, doesn't make the cereal soggy, and creates that perfect white appearance that looks delicious on camera. Ice cream that never melts. That perfect scoop of ice cream that never drips? It's not ice cream at all. It's usually colored mashed potatoes or a mixture of powdered sugar, shortening, and corn syrup. Real ice cream would melt within seconds under hot studio lights. The motor oil breakfast? That golden syrup being poured in perfect slow motion over pancakes? Often it's motor oil. Yes, the stuff you put in your car. Real syrup soaks into pancakes immediately, but motor oil maintains that glistening appearance for hours of shooting. The secret behind the steam. That appetizing steam rising from fresh, hot food. The dish is usually cold, and the steam comes from water-soaked cotton balls or tampons hidden behind the plate and microwaved right before shooting. Bon appétit. Sometimes these deceptions cross the line from creative license to actual fraud, and companies end up paying big time. Red Bull doesn't give you wings. Red Bull's famous slogan cost them $13 million in a class action settlement. Turns out, drinking sugar and caffeine doesn't actually make you sprout wings, or even significantly improve physical or mental performance, as their marketing implied. L'Oreal's impossible lashes, those mascara ads showing impossibly long, full lashes. L'Oreal had to admit that Penelope Cruz was wearing false eyelash inserts in their telescopic mascara campaign. In the UK, several of their ads featuring Julia Roberts and Christy Turlington were banned for excessive retouching. Skechers shape-ups, shape-down. Remember those toning shoes that promised to transform your legs and butt just by walking? The FTC disagreed so strongly that Skechers had to pay $40 million after studies showed they did absolutely nothing special compared to regular sneakers. Activia's not-so-active cultures. Activia yogurt claimed to have special bacterial ingredients that would improve digestion and immunity. The truth? Their probiotics were basically the same as many other yogurts. That little claim cost them $45 million in settlements. Airborne's not-so-magical powers. Marketed as a miracle cold buster created by a schoolteacher, Airborne agreed to pay $23 million to settle claims that it could prevent colds without scientific evidence. Turns out vitamin C tablets don't have magical powers. Who knew? Advertisers aren't just lying about products, they're playing mind games with us too. The menu mind trick. Ever notice how fast food restaurants avoid using the color blue? That's because blue suppresses appetite. Instead, they use red and yellow, which have been proven to make you hungrier. McDonald's didn't choose those golden arches by accident. The supermarket layout maze. Essential items like milk and bread are always at the back of grocery stores. Why? So you have to walk past dozens of tempting, high-margin products to reach the things you actually came for. It's no accident that you leave with more than you planned. The 0% financing trap. Those 0% financing offers sound amazing until you read the fine print. Miss a single payment? That retroactive interest kicks in at 29.99%. Companies know that roughly 25% of people will miss at least one payment, making these offers incredibly profitable. The decoy effect. Ever wonder why there's always that one ridiculously expensive option on the menu? It's a psychological pricing strategy called the decoy effect. That $100 bottle of wine makes the $45 bottle seem reasonable by comparison, even though the $45 bottle is marked up 400%. The limited time only lie. Limited time only creates artificial scarcity and triggers our fear of missing out. But those McRibs and pumpkin spice lattes, they come back every year like clockwork. The limit is just to make you buy now instead of later. Some advertising tactics throughout history have gone from widely accepted to completely unthinkable. Doctors promoting cigarettes. In the 1950s, tobacco companies ran ads showing doctors recommending their cigarettes. One Camel ad proudly claimed, "More doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette." Now we know better, but these ads ran for years. The sugar cover-up. In the 1960s, the sugar industry paid scientists to downplay sugar's role in heart disease and instead blame fat. This influenced decades of nutritional advice and food marketing. Meanwhile, sugar was added to everything from pasta sauce to peanut butter. Joe Camel's kid appeal. The cartoon camel was so effective at making cigarettes appeal to children that studies showed kids recognized Joe Camel almost as well as Mickey Mouse. After years of pressure, the campaign was finally retired in the 1990s. The fat-free fattening. When fat became the enemy in the 1980s and 90s, food companies removed fat from products but added tons of sugar to maintain flavor. The result? Fat-free products that actually made people gain more weight than the original versions. The bottled water bamboozle. Dasani and Aquafina were forced to admit that their water comes from public tap sources, not the pristine springs depicted in their advertising. Despite this, Americans spend billions on bottled water that's often no better than what comes out of the faucet. Celebrities get paid millions to promote products, but do they actually use them? Kylie's filtered skincare. Kylie Jenner promoted her walnut face scrub while using beauty filters on Instagram, filters that made her skin look flawless regardless of what products she was using. Dermatologists later called the scrub potentially harmful to skin. The Foreman grill illusion. While George Foreman did eventually use his namesake grill, he initially just licensed his name. The invention came from someone else entirely, and Foreman had little involvement in its development. That didn't stop him from making over $200 million from the endorsement. Shaq's honest admission. Shaquille O'Neal now endorses icy hot pain relief products, but he once admitted he'd never used it before being approached for the endorsement. He only tried it after being offered the deal. The hidden Tabra ad. Many influencers fail to disclose when their posts are paid promotions, despite FTC requirements. One study found that over 93% of sponsored posts weren't properly labeled, leaving followers unaware they were viewing ads rather than genuine recommendations. The dead celebrity revival. Companies are now using CGI and deepfakes to bring deceased celebrities back to life for advertisements. Audrey Hepburn has sold chocolate, Bruce Lee has sold whiskey, and James Dean was cast in a new film, all without their actual consent. Sometimes ad campaigns go so wrong that they become cautionary tales. Pepsi's protest disaster. Pepsi's 2017 commercial showed Kendall Jenner resolving tensions between protesters and police with a can of soda. The ad was called tone deaf for trivializing serious social justice movements and was pulled within 24 hours. Dove's racist blunder. A Dove ad showed a black woman removing her shirt to reveal a white woman underneath, suggesting their soap could wash away blackness. The backlash was swift, and Dove apologized, but not before the damage was done. Burger King's Pregnant World Cup ad. Burger King Russia offered women a lifetime supply of Whoppers if they got pregnant by World Cup soccer players. Yes, really. The ad was pulled almost immediately after worldwide criticism. McDonald's exploiting grief. A UK McDonald's ad featured a boy learning about his deceased father from his mother, discovering that they both loved filet-o-fish sandwiches. The ad was criticized for exploiting child bereavement to sell fast food. Hyundai's suicide commercial. Hyundai created an ad showing a man attempting suicide by car exhaust, only to fail because the car's emissions were so clean. The ad was quickly pulled after viewers and suicide prevention groups expressed outrage. Advertising is everywhere, and now you know what's really behind those polished pixels and catchy slogans. Remember, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. The next time you see an ad, ask yourself, am I seeing reality or just another carefully crafted illusion? Because in the world of advertising, what you see is rarely what you get. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a dose of truth from Factopia. Until next time, question everything, especially commercials.